went to the Boston Marathon with my Tufts lacrosse team. We were all at the finish line, and we ended up right in front of Forum Restaurant. And all of a sudden, we heard this huge blast towards our left, and all we saw was just smoke going up. I turned to my friends and I just said, "We have to get out of here. We need to run." So we started running, and that's when the second one went off. And I didn't really know how close we were until I saw pictures later where the backpack is set directly behind my feet. All I knew was that I thought I went deaf because it was so loud. And I looked back at my legs and saw they were bleeding along the backs of my calves and hamstrings. And I think I first felt safe when I was in the ambulance and they said I was on my way to Mass General.
So what I did was I ran into the front door and I said, "I'm Jamie Cohen's mother. My daughter is a victim of the bombing and I need to see her. She's here." So 2 security guards just grabbed my arm. They walked me all the way around into emergency. And that's when Dr. Sherman came up to me, and from a security guard's arm to her arm, she grabbed me and said, "You're coming with me." She knew I had to see Jamie, and she was so good about that.
Jamie, she was really an amazing patient because given what she'd gone through, she's like complete champion.
And finally, Jamie was escorted down to us. She was in a wheelchair. And that's when the tears really started flowing.
As soon as they saw Jamie, it was just relief and happiness. People reunited that were afraid that they might not be.
But the doctors had a job to do, and we were at Jamie's head, they were at her feet.
And she probably had 40 to 50 of these holes in her legs from where the BBs hit them, all the way from her lower back down to her feet. I and Dr. Sherman just went through and very carefully examined each of the 40 or 50 wounds.
And they just kept reassuring us that she was going to be okay. As a mother, I just needed to know that.
It was just like they were ready for something like this, like they had practiced it.
We in Boston have 5 adult level 1 trauma centers, that's the highest level, and 3 level 1 pediatric trauma centers, and again, that's the highest level.
And because all the hospitals have sort of similar type disaster plans, no patient that reached the hospital alive died.
That's pretty amazing. And I think is virtually unprecedented because of the drills and the training that we'd gone through over the previous few years. After 9/11, we learned things from the Israelis. We wanted to revise our disaster plan. We could manage, 15, 20 patients at a time. Israelis said, you need to be able to manage 60 to 80 at a time, and this is how you do it. We had 1 physician at the front door, and we had 1 posted in the ambulance bay, and they were doing the triaging, just like the Israelis told us. It's a 10-second decision. Broken ankles can wait. Traumatic amputations can't.
The first patients hit the emergency department within 10 minutes of the first bomb going off. As soon as that first patient arrived, I think everyone realized the gravity of the situation, and so you need to change to sort of a higher level of trauma care.
I've never seen so many surgeons descend on the emergency room in one moment. Everyone, I mean, the entire hospital just started to respond.
We do heroics 1 patient at a time. In that particular day, we didn't have 1 patient, we had about 30. Not all of them were critical. About a dozen were critical and needed that very, very close attention. We had 6 go to the operating room in the first 20 minutes.
So many patients with such life-threatening injuries in such a short period of time. That's what's atypical, but the actual care that they received is what we give every day. One of the most important things from any time when you have an event like this is what you take away from it. We learn how we can do it better the next time. Because of this, other patients will be saved more quickly, more efficiently in the future.
You practice for these things, but you never want it to be a reality. It's a horrible event that no one should have to go through, and no family should have to go through.
The shrapnel from the bomb hit my legs, but luckily all of it just bounced off. So, we're just really lucky that we ran, that I had some voice in my head, probably my mom's anxious, nervous voice saying, you need to get out of here, or else, we wouldn't have our legs. And, I really wanted to do some things after living through this and try and you know, pay it forward. So I've been running every day because I can. I still have my legs. I mean, obviously the Boston Marathon always comes through my mind every time I'm running. Now I think I'm running to really feel good about myself, and I'm kind of running for everyone that can't.
The people at this kind of event coming to Storybook Ball to support the MassGeneral Hospital for Children, that really shows what is really important about Boston and being appreciated for what we do.
You know, we're so lucky to have Mass General and all the other hospitals in the area, some of the best hospitals in the world to take care of us.
What you do makes a difference in what we can do, and that's why it's so important.